And we're going to start with the baseball, even though the WNBA game is very early. It's only one day game. So we're going to start with Major League Baseball today to get the show going with the Diamondbacks and the Braves. What were you thinking, Mindy? You came through strong with that one. Like I said, you came in on the under yesterday, and well, we both. Our premium play here on the show was Arizona. I think we took them on the run line yesterday in that one, but gonna finish up this series today with a pretty good pitching matchup with Zach Gallen and Spencer Strider. So I think the pitching matchup of the day certainly.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of been the talk here in the chat as of late, right? We've been talking about Strider and those strikeout props. We've been talking about Gallen and his props there as well. We have two teams, like you said, that are scoring a lot of runs right now. 5.52 for the Diamondbacks, 5.76 for this Braves team. And that's with, this Arizona Diamondbacks team kind of actually being lower than their first half stats were thus far after the All-Star break. So they've really been in stride here this season. Both of these pitchers tend to look like they match up pretty well. Spencer Strider, 3.75 slugging percentage versus the Diamondbacks, and Gallen, 4.08 slugging percentage here versus this Braves team. Should be a good one. I'm going to go ahead and go back on the Diamondbacks here again on the run line today, sitting at about minus 130, I think.
Yeah, I mean, there's some talk about right now the Braves and the bullpen not really uh, living up to what the rest of the team is doing. I think here is the way we want to put it. The Braves certainly are still a dynamo, but they've given a little bit back here of late, and I'm going to agree. I mean, it's a four-game losing streak right now. The price is about $1.25, maybe even $1.30 at the square shops. Thomas Lewis is ready to go on Arizona's run line, so why not? I will too. Hot boy on the over.
He's hot.
Fernando on the over. So Joe says we should have started with that WNBA game, maybe, but I don't know. That's such a heavy baseball card. Bionic on the over. Let's do it, Mindy. Just gonna go with you here with Arizona. I mean, we know Gallen's pretty outstanding.
Sure.
3.79 ERA in his last three starts. Sure, Arizona has lost 8 of their last 12, but it's been a pretty good series here in Atlanta. They found some form. Tucker Boy, 23, is here today and wants Braves on the money line. All right, I get it.
Sure.
$1.90, not something I'm interested in, but that is the line today. Pretty big favorite. Jacoby says he'll take Arizona with us. All right. 1 for 1. We got off to a great start yesterday with several picks, so why
I think
not?
we went like first 5 or something we agreed on.
Whatever works. I'll take it right now. And let's take the Diamondbacks plus a run and a half. Looks like we got a little support in the chat. Hope you guys have some picks and recommendations for us today, but if not, we'll come through again. The Giants are at the Reds with Cobb going for the Giants and Abbott going for the Reds. Abbott here is favored now after I think the Giants were pretty much the favorite in the openers, although it's been a steady move to the Reds. Make no mistake. And now the Reds are $1.15 favorite or so, maybe a little bit cheaper at some of the places, but seems like it's heading in one direction with the Reds yesterday. Mindy, close game yesterday, 1-run game, 4-3. I gave out the under here, and you gave out the Reds, so we were right on that game as well. And those weren't even on the consensus plays. We were just
right.
for some of our other plays.
Right. Yeah, it's one of those again. I always feel like I want to be on the side of Andrew Abbott. Now I know he's allowed some runs here in his last couple outings. I think he gave up about 8 earned runs in his last 2 starts. I just think that for him, that's not necessarily the norm here. I think I'm going to go back on Abbott these Reds on the run line. Again, if we take a look at the scoring, Giants 4.56 runs of offense. This Reds team 4.78. Bullpens are pretty equal. So with all things kind of being equal, I think I'm going to go ahead and just take the run and hope that the Reds get off to a good start here in this one versus Cobb. He's been a little bit stubborn, but I think they can get to him today.
All right, Mindy's going to come back in on the Reds here against the Giants. Abbott been strong. Well, maybe he's tailing off a little bit from that great start. He's got a 4.5 ERA in his last 3 starts. The Reds have lost 7 of their last 9. And let's see here. Fernando's on the Reds and the under. So you'll take the Reds with you. And Hot Boy says, give me the Giants. Sports Girl Reds money line is her lock today. And Bionic says, give me the Reds at home here. Cobb, 2.67 ERA in his last 6 starts. And the Giants are 12-2 in Cobb's last 14 starts. Cobb has also gone under in 11 of his last 14, and the Giants have gone under in 13 of their last 17. Abbott has gone under in 6 of his last 8 starts, and the Reds have gone under in 5 of their last 6. So I'm going under with Cobb and Abbott today. Reported steam did come in on the under in this game. So let me see. That might even, that total's not even right. It's 9. It's gone down. So I'm not getting the best price of it here. And so I can give it out on the show. But it's definitely 9 over 20 or so. But the Reds still the favorite here. Moved to the favorite against those Giants. So maybe the Reds get it back a little bit. Jay Cricket's here today, and Jay Cricket says go under. And here's Thomas Lewis says he'll take the Reds. Mindy's on the Reds. I'm on the under.
All right.
At 9 runs. The Brewers we're in daytime. These are all 12:30 Eastern starts, basically. 11:30 Mindy time and 9:30 here on the West Coast. Burns and Taiwan Walker. Phillies a slight favorite here, $1.15, 8.5 over 15. Wow, this thing's really been dropping. The total's been dropping here on this one.
I see that. I think I'm going to go with the Phillies and Taiwan Walker here thus far. He's been pitching, I think, pretty outstanding here at home. 2.3 ERA, 0 home runs per 9. Does tend to put some guys on base, so we need to limit those today. And it's the same thing with Corbin Burns, right? He puts guys on base as well. But yeah, I like the Phillies where they're going here today. I think they should be able to kind of dominate Corbin Burns here today at the plate. Going with those Phillies.
All right. Well, Burns has been back to being Burns. He's got a 1.89 ERA in his last 3 starts, but Walker has won 6 of his last 7 starts, 6-0 with a 2 ERA in his last 7 starts. And the Phillies have won his last 7 starts. So Phillies, playing great still, no doubt about it. But the Brewers come in pretty hot as well. Reflected in that line. If anything, the move's been on the Brewers. Maybe a little bit of support because of Burns. I'm not sure why it's going in that direction. It is a day game, so maybe there's some pieces out of the lineup. But the move has definitely been to Milwaukee here. I'm going to kind of support that move a little bit here. Let me see. I want to check to see if there's anybody scheduled out of the lineup. No, I don't know about that. See what the chat has to say here in this one. Pretty important ball game. And Fernando's on the Brewers. Blake's on the under. And here's Fernando over. Sports Girl leans Brewers. Fernando Brewers, I said right. Okay, Thomas Lewis under. Jacoby on the Brewers.
Yeah.
Hot
Lots of
boy
under.
on
Lots of
Jordan.
Brewers.
Yeah. And lots of support on the under here. And it's moved too far for me. I'm just one of those numbers, don't pay any attention to who's even pitching type of guy. No, I do. I'm going to go over here at 8.5. Steam came in on the under. These two teams certainly produce a lot of unders. Although the Brewers, the Phillies have gone over in 6 of their last 8. Brewers have gone under in 6 straight. But I'm going to go over in this one. Dre says Milwaukee. So yeah, it's just dipped a little bit to 8.5 over. Give me the over here in this one. Mindy's on the Phillies. And next up is the Padres. Well, too bad they couldn't play the Brewers every day, the Blue Jays every game.
Right.
Snell's a road favorite here, $1.15, 9 under 20.
Well, I don't really like your Padres here today. I know that they've won 7 of their last 11, right? Maybe a little bit on fire here, but I kind of feel like with Bassett on the mound and Blake Snell, it should be a good one. But of course, if I take a look at Bassett here at home, 2.47 ERA, doesn't give up the long ball, doesn't give up many walks. Snell, on the other hand, on the road, 4.9 walks per 9 innings. Also have Bassett with that big 27.5% K rate and only a 4.03 slugging percentage. Snell, on the other hand, has a big slugging percentage against him, well over 500, 0.552 there on that one. I'm going to go ahead and take the Blue Jays here at home today, Ramon.
Okay, well, I'm going to go with the Blue Jays as well. Look, Snell is that guy right now. There might not be anybody hotter, but it was 0.5 ERA in his last 9 starts. Padres are still just 6-4. They got a shutout of the Blue Jays yesterday,
Yeah, right.
2-0. But I'm going to take the Blue Jays with you in this one. Blue Jays are 6-3 in Bassett's last 9 home starts, and the Brewers have won 8 of their last 11, despite the 2-game losing streak here to the Padres. Just really like this price, certainly at minus $1.05 or so. And I'm going to be taking the Blue Jays with Mindy. Here's Luis on the Jays. Fernando says Padres and under. Blake is on Toronto. Hot boy on the under. And Bionic on the under as well. I've got to think maybe it's going to be a low-scoring game. And I'm interested in the Blue Jays here against the Padres. Maybe the public's ready to come back in on the Padres now. And like I said before, this is the time. I mean, they need a winning streak big time right now. Jacoby on the under, or the season will be over before you know it. And Jeremy Bryant's here today.
Good morning. Jays under.
Okay. So it looks like Blue Jay under for sure from the chat. So like I said, said yesterday, we give our plays, but you got to get 100 more plays from the chat. Little suggestions here and there. Yeah, there's going to be a little give and take two-way, but again, we see run lines, we see some player props in there. Steph is on the Padres.
Yeah, nice. All right. I said, yeah, Steph is back. Nice.
Okay, great.
Been a while.
Guess who else is back?
Elijah.
Jose Quintana of the Mets.
Oh, that.
Jose Quintana will make his first start of the season. He had rib surgery.
Oh.
I don't know. It doesn't sound pleasant. a bone graft. So I guess you need a bone graft if you have some rib injuries. So here he is, someone who was really supposed to be a big contributor.
What do you do? Take like a punch to the gut? What? How do you do
Yeah.
that?
Could have been like a muscle tear of some kind, but it's something
Yeah.
that needed surgery and has kept him out the first 3 months of the season, 3+ months of the season. He had a ERA under 3 last season, just a 6-7 record, but very solid in his career with the White Sox, ironically enough. But he does make his return today. $1.50 favorite, and the total here is 9/25.
Yeah, I mean, Quintana's been good, right? Traditionally, keeping the ball, in the yard, right? I mean, that's what he's been known for, right? Just really limiting these hard hits. Does have a 16.3% K rate versus this White Sox team. And especially when this team has been struggling to score, only 4.35 runs of offense there. Again, the White Sox are the ones that give up a lot of offense when they're on defense. They give up 5 runs per game here. I think it's going to be okay with Quintana. I don't know how many innings he's going to get here, but that Mets bullpen is pretty decent. 4.26 ERA here, only giving up 157 earned runs compared to that White Sox team with 179 here so far this season. Give me the Mets here on the money line with Quintana getting back at it.
All right, Mindy, on the Mets here in this one. They've won 3 straight now. White Sox have lost 10 of their last 14 games. Are pretty dismal on the road, 19-32 record. So Quintana is the story here. I like this one to go under. For some reason, I bought into the runs. I thought yesterday would be an over for some reason after what happened with the previous day, even with these two teams. And why would you think that? I mean, if you think of the teams right now, look, Mets have gone under in 13 of their last 22. White Sox have gone under in 8 of their last 11. And in Kopech starts, they've gone under in 11 of their last 13 games. The Mets themselves have gone under in 28 of 42 at home. So I'm going to have to go under here big time in this one with the White Sox and the Mets. And we do have some plays here. And let's see. I think Fernando's on the under. Yeah, it was 9.5. I think it's going lower. So Blake is on the over. Fernando went with the White Sox.
Yeah, Steph, this Mets bullpen just has to be better than that White Sox bullpen. Right.
Hello to Tyrone Bell. Bionic on the under. Yeah, they keep giving it up, right? They missed the trumpet man.
Right. Didn't he get banned and barred there since they blew up the postseason?
Hot Boy has this game at 11.5. That looks like a lock on the over for Hot Boy.
Man, I guess.
Jacob might be rooting for the Mets, or he might be on the Mets. I'm not sure, but I'm on the under. Mindy's on the Mets in this one. Tigers and Royals. Mindy, you've zeroed in on this series. This was one of our losers on the show anyway. Like I said, you did have the Tigers yesterday as a premium pick, so you did have a winner on this game. But out of our 8-2 record, this was one of the two that we were on the over yesterday in that game, but didn't quite work out for us. Today, the Tigers are a favorite on the road. Greinke, I don't think. Oh yeah, I do see this game is out now. The line is out. $1.30, 8.5 over 20. So it looks like Greinke will make this start after all. Just seemed like it took a while to get him listed there.
Yeah, I know when I first started my work on this game, it wasn't out by the time we were getting closer to the show. It did just come out. So yeah, I got the Tigers sitting at about Yeah, I had it at like 135, so 130
Okay.
looks decent. But with Greinke here today, I think he's going to be looking for a little bit of a comeback. Greinke here, 18.6% K rate versus this Tigers team. Only a 270 batting average is all he allows there versus the Tigers as well. Out of his 49 inning pitch, he's been pitching better at home, right? 3.67 compared to that 5.44 overall ERA. Again, we have to wait for hopefully some offense to break out by this Royals team. They do score more runs than the Tigers. I think they get it done here today. I have to hope that Greinke goes a little bit longer than usual here. Don't really want to get into that bullpen there. I mean, that third worst bullpen, but better than yesterday. That's all I know. I'm going to go ahead and take the Royals here. I'm still going to take them with the 1.5 at sitting at minus 150.
Oh, okay. I kind of do. I don't mind that necessarily getting a 1.5 here in this game. It's not not a thrilling game, certainly. Minus $1.50. Greinke, look, yeah, I mean it's night and day at home and away to a certain extent. He's still an 8 ERA in his last 6 starts. Lorenzen has been pretty sharp so far. Last 2 starts, no earned runs in 11 innings pitched. So I'll take the under in this one with the Tigers and the Royals. Detroit's gone under in 6 of their last 8, and the Royals have gone under in 8 of their last 11. If you've got Greinke turning it around, that's what I need. And let's see the chat here. Lots of comments on this big game.
That's right. The biggest game out there today.
Fernando's on the Royals. Tyrone says the under. Fernando's on the under. I think it's 8.5 for the most part. 8.5 over 20. Hello to Jim.
Hello to whoever's texting Ramon.
Lots of information coming out.
That's right.
Boy says Tigers money line numbers read over in this one. I'm going to stick with the under. All right. And Sports Girl's right 98% of the time. I also am rarely wrong. And if I am wrong, don't question me. Here's Bionic on the Royals. Tyrone's on Detroit. Jacoby's on Detroit. Bionic does like the over in this one. I'm coming back on the under just after yesterday when we tried to go over in the game and got beat down. I'm going to go back on the under. Right, JD? Well, a lot of day games. Look, we talked about what happened on Tuesday night, and then yesterday when we came on the show, I said, you can't just broad brush. I mean, there's a huge swath of country and baseball games everywhere, but the day game, all the high-scoring games were night games, and we're back in day games today. I'm not saying that's the total reason why, but Jim says give him Kansas City run line and the under. And that's the way I'm going. I'm going under. And Mindy's on Kansas City run line. There's our plays. Jim's on them.
Yeah, we got them.
All
Good
right.
job, yeah.
Twins and Mariners with Pablo Lopez and George Kirby. Kirby down to $1.15 here. Maybe there's a move here on Minnesota. They were smashing last night after the Mariners came back to tie the game with the long ball. The Twins went right back on top, ended up smashing the Mariners really in that game yesterday. And in this one, $1.15 now, total 7 over 20. So talk about love for the unders. The bookmakers see this one moving lower.
Yeah, Ramon, I was on the Mariners. That's one of those that I had as a premium that I got beat out on. But yeah, it was one of those that even though the Twins there scored in the top of 9, that darn Mariners team had 2 runners on with no outs and couldn't get anything going. I think Lopez has kind of had a little bit of a rough start here opening, and I kind of feel like this is the day with George Kirby on the mound that, again, I feel like he's the one that gets more of these runs from the Mariners team. Neither one of these pitchers, fared too well last time, but I'm going to go back on the Mariners here today on the money line. Let's go Mariners.
Okay, Mariners with Kirby at home. In this one,
Sports Girl says, don't do it, Mindy. Don't do it.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't know if I'm gonna be on. I'm gonna go over. If this thing's gonna be at 7, I'll just go over. We saw yesterday, that I had the under as a premium. I did not fare well in premiums, and I had the under, and well, it was looking
should have
like
been under.
Which, well, still
that last inning
runs came late, so
yeah.
can't say that necessarily. Now here comes Dre's on first 5 here. Sports Girl says Twins easy. Hello to JJ. Thank you. Oh, thank you for that. That was the chat as well. We're kind of in it with some of us on those WNBA plays. Luis on Seattle. Asante's on the Twins. Nice to have Asante here as well. And Jim said Minnesota ain't winning. Take Seattle. As well as Jacoby, kind of the same quote right here all day.
Right.
Yeah, and right. Castillo was watching. His head got a little neck injury watching the balls take off there. Was it back to back or I don't know 2 home? Oh boy, taking over 8. Number came out to 8. Yeah, well, if you got an 8, that's definitely an over, I would say. And here's Fernando going over. We can go over 7 now. Maybe you take over 7.5. Tyrone's on the Twins. Thomas over. Bionic Mariners. I'm on the over. All right. Mindy on the Mariners. I'm on the over. We're not necessarily having the agreements we need, but that's all right.
It's all right.
Okay, here's an important. This is all those were other series that are concluding, but now we're getting to the night games, and here's an important series, I guess, huh?
I guess. Right?
Wow, Orioles and Rays. Hello. Pretty big line. I mean, yeah, sure. I know that the Orioles are, maybe they've been in. Well, so have the Rays. I mean, the Rays haven't been anything special either. Is Glasnow really that much better? $1.80? 8 over 15. Here's another one. A great call in the chat. Another game where the under is on the move here. 8 over 15, but that's a move to the under, no doubt.
Yeah, I mean that's because of these 2 pitchers, right? These high, K rates. Gibson, he strikes out 7 per 9 innings. Glasnow 14.6 per 9 innings. Each of these 2 have a 26% K rate. But yet sometimes they do kind of give up the long ball. So it's one of those, it's kind of feast or famine with them, I guess, right? So for me, though, I think I'm going to go back on the Orioles. I'm going to take them plus the 1.5 here today, only because I kind of feel like Glasnow is the better pitcher in this matchup, but I kind of feel like this Orioles team has kind of been more on fire with the bats. Plus, they're not really the ones on this big losing skid. I think if I was the Rays, I'd be a little bit worried with where we're at. And, again, I do feel like it was, having that up and down with the pitching staff here so far. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go on Gibson here in this one, Ramon.
Okay, fair enough. Take the Orioles here. Big time plus money line, Mindy?
No, I'm going to go ahead and go here on the run line. So it's like sitting at about -30. I'll take the run only because I think Glasnow is the better pitcher than Gibson. But I think the Orioles batters get it done as they go later in that game.
Glasnow 2.42 ERA in his last 4 starts. We know Tampa Bay slumping, certainly. 10 of their last 13 games they've lost. The Orioles pretty hot. I mentioned a tailspin, not necessarily a tailspin, but before this winning streak, we were questioning whether they were for real. They've gotten it back together, obviously, with wins and they're not in 9 of their last 11 games. So I could see you making the call there on the Orioles. Uh, Big price. I mean, I would favor the Orioles in the price. I like Glass now in the game. It scares me. I don't want to lay this price, but I don't want to go against Glass now here. Man, the chat really likes this game.
Yeah, right.
Let's take a look at it. Here's Luis on the Orioles. Asante Orioles Rays for Sports Girl. It's going to be mixed, I think. Politican says take a run and a half here. Why not? Or no, plus money. Dre says let's go O's. The Orioles are fired up for this series, certainly. They trail Tampa, so they can really get this thing heated. Here's Hot Boy on the over. Speaking of heated, here's Fernando on the Rays, Steph on the Steph's back behind us a little bit there. Sorry about that. I got ahead of ourselves. Jim's on the over. JJ says can't trust the Rays. Fernando might have been talking about that last game, but I don't know the way this total's been dropping. I'll follow this. I'm fading the move. I'm going over 8. How can I not? I know the steam came in on the over. I mean, the betting patterns look to be under. Steam came in on the under. Boy, I'm confused. Step on the Rays. Jim says over. It just Baltimore, Tampa. I mean, I got to be thinking over. Baltimore's gone over in 15 of their last 24. Gibson's gone over in 5 straight starts. The Rays have been, their offense has been tailing a little bit. That's part of their woes. It's going to be an ugly game, Jacoby said. Wow, that sucks. I wanted to be a
well, it depends what he thinks ugly, right? Like, is he a defensive guy where he likes the 1-0, or, is he the guy that likes the, 6-7, that kind of thing?
I wanted an aesthetically pleasing game with good teams. I think that's the way I feel. So yeah, Orioles. Are they? Let's see. Are they in by? Are the Orioles in first? I thought the Rays in first by half a game right now. I thought
a little bit.
Okay, no, it's one game. Baltimore's in first by one. I don't even have standings in front of me, but I mean I know that Tampa's ahead in the win column and behind. Yeah, I don't have the standings in front of me, but we know this is an important series. Thomas on Baltimore. I already fell behind here a little bit. Here we go. Tyrone, Orioles run line, Bionic Orioles. Oh, I see. My computer skipped a little bit. Here we go.
Skip. Yeah, Jacoby likes that low scoring game here. So it's going to be, it looks like a couple overs, a couple unders, a little bit of, couple Rays money lines, a couple O's run lines. So it's going to be interesting to see how this one plays. Kind of split in the chat, I think, here overall.
All right, I'm going to take the over in this one. Look, Tampa Bay 31-18 to the over at home. Baltimore 26-14 to the over on the road this season. I'm going to take the over now that it's 8. It's definitely 8. It says 8 over 15. I know there's some books that are going even lower. This one's on the move lower, but I'm not buying it. I'm going to take the over. The move is on the under. Okay. Cardinals and Cubs. Is Scotch here?
I don't see him yet.
Who are the, maybe
I don't see Doubles, our other Chicago correspondent. Not yet.
Okay, well, whenever these two teams get together, doesn't matter. Cubs are $1.20 here with Stroman. The total 8 over 30. Here's another one where the total is dropping.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, Stroman here will face the Cardinals now for his third time this season and is 0-3 so far. So it's going to be interesting if Stroman can get back against these Cardinals that are having some issues at the plate here as of late. Only 4.14 runs of offense, but they've beat him up pretty good. They scored 7 on him, 3 on him, 3 on him. So, I mean, they have been able to score versus Marcus Stroman. But again, Stroman is a better pitcher than Matz. He's out there with his 6.03 ERA on the road, just not been a good away from the home park. So for me, I'm going to go ahead and go over this total here today. So yeah, I like it that this number's come down a little bit, Ramon.
Yeah, me too, because I kind of want to take the over in this one. Matz could get roughed up a little bit, but watch out. I mean, Stroman is, as good as he's been this season, he does have a 5.33 ERA in his last 5 starts as he's starting to get a little arm weary as the trade deadline approaches. Cardinals have won 8 of their last 10. We've talked about their resurgence a little bit. I think they're live here, even with Matz. Matz has nearly a 6 ERA in his last 4 starts to go with that, ERA near 5. So I'm going to have to go over in this one. The Cubs have gone over in 12 of their last
consensus play number 3
games. Oh, that's number 3?
There we go. 3.
Oh, okay, I thought we had only 2. So,
well, we did until now.
Okay, good.
Diamondbacks plus 1.5, Blue Jays money line, Cubs over 8.
Oh, okay, good.
Sounds like to me.
After yesterday, I was ready to go all in on every game, but let's just, we're gonna definitely just stay with our approach, stay with what works, and I'll take the over with you in the Cards and the Cubs. Here's Fernando on the Cubs, Hot Boys on the Cubs. It's going to be a lot of Cubs, it feels like, but Sports Girl is on the Cards. Jim is on the over with us. So is Fernando. Nathan says Cubs at home. And we know Thomas is ready for football, but he wants Cardinals first 5.
The Arizona
Ramon's on the Cubs, yeah.
I was just thinking about that. I was like, man, I don't like cold weather, but I sure like football.
I don't know if there's any football news that came out yesterday, but I think everybody was laughing. Everyone was making fun of Aaron Rodgers in his Jets uniform. That's what the news was yesterday. I don't know if you saw it, Mindy, but it just looked a little bit unusual, kind of like when Brett Favre went there, I guess.
It just looks unusual.
Maybe that was it, but everybody's kind of like, it was mostly because the social media of the Jets were saying, like, this is real. It's not AI generated. Yes, Aaron Rodgers is a Jet. Only for the chat to remind him, you gotta, maybe an over-the-hill quarterback. He still can get it done.
Bad division, I think. It's just one of those.
Makes life difficult. Careful what you wish for, Aaron Rodgers, right? You still have to go up against Allen. You have, the Patriots. Give the Dolphins a little bit of a chance. Okay, Mindy will be on the over. We've got another play. Let's see if we can get one more out of this. We've got
all right, we'll try.
Here. Last game in baseball. Astros and Athletics. Well, it's not supposed to be close. Astros are only $1.90, I'll say, but total 8.5 over 20 here.
Yeah, only $1.90. But I think you got France here. That's the better pitcher. He's been pretty reliable. 2.43 ERA over his last 3 starts, 2.18 ERA here on the road. So been a decent pitcher on the road. Only a 0.7 home runs per 9 innings. On the other hand, Hogan Harris hasn't really been that great. He's given up at least 4 runs in 4 consecutive outings here. So for me, I'm going to go ahead and go over the total here in this one. Hogan Harris, 5.86 ERA. At home, 6.51 overall. You have that A's bullpen we talked about is the worst in all of the major leagues with the 5.66 ERA. I think the Astros probably get to him early here, taking the over.
All right. Mindy on the over in this one with France and Harris. Harris did go up against Houston already this season and had a performance of 5 scoreless innings. So I'm going to give him a chance at home to do something here against the Astros today. I'll end up taking the Athletics on the run line plus 1.5 at minus 110, I guess. Probably get a better price than that, but I'm gonna take the A's
All right.
plus.
Jogan Laris.
Well, I
I was just reading what Nathan wrote. He meant what I knew. Jogan Laris. He likes the Hogan Harris.
here's Asante on the Astros. Dre is on Houston. Fernando's on Houston. Jeremy says lay 3 runs. I'm trying to take a 1.5, and Jeremy
Right. Ramon wants 3 runs.
Yikes. Fernando's on the under, going against you a little bit. Jacoby's on the Astros. Sports Girl says Astros lock. Thomas is with me. A's on the run line. I'm going to sprinkle the money line even in this one.
Uh-oh,
Hot
look
boy,
out.
Astros first 5. Thanks, Hot Boy. Appreciate it. Nice job again today. Definitely good contributor here. Bionic Astros run line.
Not hanging out for WNBA?
Right. Nathan says JP France has been great. 3.36 ERA in his last 3 starts.
Oh, Jeremy wants to do the challenge, Ramon, head to head.
Well, I took him plus a 1.5, and he took him minus 3. What if it's 4-2? Who wins?
Right. Oh, funny.
And here's Tyrone on Houston. If I end up betting the chat, I might end up with no belongings.
No belongings. Funny.
Is that a rocket? Is that a spaceship or something? Yeah. Oh, it's a fireball. Yeah, it's a fireball, I think.
I think it's just sort of any sort of astrological thing.
It's a fireball, like a comet.
Comet. Yeah, there we go. That would be meteor, right? Aren't the meteors hot and the comets are cold? I don't know.
Oh, science lesson here.
All that
Bill
education
Nye,
here is paid for.
All right, thanks, you guys. Good job with Major League Baseball. We got 3 plays out of it. Mindy on the over. I'm on the A's
Look
here.
out.
So
A's are live, he said. They're live.
yeah, I'm gonna look for a spot to get on the A's. Look, Astros. They've been mediocre of late. They've lost 5 of 9, and the A's, of course, have won these last 2 ball games. Don't forget, everybody. They had lost 8 straight, and then here come the Astros.
Here they come.
And the A's have, done it. So I'm on the A's today. Mindy's on the over.